Hey, thanks for checking out Nuts and Bolts with Tone. Today, we're going to talk about an Amazon tool haul. That's right, baby. Got some tools, want to talk about it, want to share with you. So let's get into it. All right. So, the first thing that I got. Now, this is something I'd never heard of before. And a younger guy, he's only been doing it for like a couple years. He actually showed me this tool. And I'd never heard of it, never seen it, never worked with anyone that ever had it. Pretty sure that everybody I ever worked with never even knew about this tool. Anyways, at my new shop, or not new shop anymore, it's been over 3 months now, and a young guy showed me this tool. And it is definitely worth it. All right, so if you do a lot of front end work, control arms, struts, axles, you know, anything like that, this is a tool you're going to want to have. So, first, we all know that time when you're trying to pull the lower control arm down. Trying to get the lower control arm down and you're trying to find somewhere to pry. Maybe there's a little hole in there you can stick the pry bar in. You just can't quite get enough, enough of it to bite, to grab. And you're really struggling. It keeps slipping out. You're trying to pull the ball joint out, trying to put it back in, whatever. Anyways, you're trying to drop the control arm down so you can get the strut out, get the axle out, get the ball joint out, whatever you're trying to do. So they make this tool and it makes dropping that control arm down so much easier. And it is a tool by OTC. There it is, right there, OTC. All right, so this tool, I think it's like 15 bucks on Amazon. It is a lower control arm prying tool. And it looks like this. So basically, you're going to put this on the control arm. And it's going to lock like this. And then you're going to bring your pry bar. Actually, let me interrupt that program for something I got to try out. From Carnage Tools. AKA JTC. So they sent me this pry bar set to try out. And now when I first looked at the box, I thought, oh man, you know what? I already have a pry bar set. I have a pry bar set I have for a long time, right? So there it is. 4-piece pry bar set by JTC. I have these pry bars, except for mine are Matco. So I open them up. And what I really like about these pry bars is I like the angle of them. They have a little bit more of an angle than my Matco pry bars. My Matco pry bars, I think, have a little bit less of an angle. So, anyways, let me give you my first impression of these pry bars. And then later, I'll come back and I'll let you know in another video what I like about them, if I recommend them. But we're just going to talk about the first impression. First impression is it has a really good feel. It's plasticky, but it's got like a nice grip on it. So, and I like the angle. Now, I won't know if they work till I get to work. So we'll get those to work. We'll get a try. We'll see what we think. But back to this control arm hook. So you're going to hook the control arm on. You're going to hook the S on there like this. And let's say the control arm is going sideways. Here's the control arm. Here's the ball joint on this end. You're going to hook this on like this, okay? And then you're going to grab in here like this, and you're going to pry the control arm down. See that? Now, it doesn't matter where I hook onto, I got this hook. As long as I can slip this hook in, now I can come through with multiple pry bars to get it hooked down. So, that is a tool I highly recommend. Highly, very strongly recommend. Everyone should have this in their box. So that is the S hook. I will put a link in the description down below for that tool. 15 bucks, 15-ish, 14, 16, something like that. Anyways, definitely worth it. All right, the next tool is, now this is something that I was talking to a tech about this. So now we're starting to delve into the realm of half sizes. You think half sizes? What? What in the world? So some people still haven't come across this. Now, have you ever had a Ford and you had that Ford, and you know, Ford is like, they love to make two-piece lug nuts, right? So the outside of the lug nut comes off, and then you're left with this inside piece. So you got the lug nuts are 19 millimeter, and then by the time you take that off, now you got this little dinky lug nut, and it's real small, and you're hoping that, you know, hey, the 19, just gonna torque it down, hope everything goes well. Not really how I want to torque stuff. I want it to fit nice and snug, but guess what? It's not an 18, not 19, and standard just doesn't quite work. So now their sockets half sizes. So initially I was talking to one of my guys, and one of the guys I work with, and he said that the half sizes, they work for when there's a two-piece lug nut and it's malfunctioned. However, I've seen it on two newer vehicles now. I don't recall what vehicles they were, and I actually wasn't working on them. Somebody came and borrowed my sockets from me, and I can't remember which ones I have. I think I have the 18.5. Can't remember if I have the 19.5. Maybe it's just the 18.5. I can't recall. But anyways, somebody came to borrow it, and it's a brand new car, like a new car, and it needed half sizes. Okay, so the newer cars are starting to come with half sizes. I've seen it. Don't recall what manufacturer it was, but it was for sure a newer vehicle, and they weren't damaged. So just picked up a 22.5. So this one is, I'm pretty sure it's the same brand. It's probably similar to the other brand I have, and that is by CTA Tools. CTA. So there you go. This one is a 22 and a 22.5. So you know what I wish they would make, and I haven't found them yet, is I wish they would make these flip sockets in a double half size. So like an 18.5 and a 19.5, or 21 and a 22.5, both of them being half sizes. So I haven't found that yet, but regardless, I don't come across the half sizes much, a lot. And I don't recall how much this was, maybe 20 bucks, something like that. Don't recall. I'll have a link in the description down below. But anyway, CTA right there, 22.5. So if you don't have half sizes, get some. You're going to need them. All right. Now the next tool is, not sure how I feel about these. All right. So I'm on the fence. So I recently discovered that they make a universal, so I work on Sprinters and Mercedes and, you know, things like that. And use a lot of triple squares, a lot of Torx, a lot of E-Torx. And there's a lot of times where where they just don't fit. The sockets, they just don't fit. And, you know, you need like a universal. And so I found these, and this is by Sunex. Now I know Sunex makes them, Gear Wrench makes them, and then you can get them on the truck. I mean, obviously one socket probably costs as much as this whole rail. I think this set was 45 bucks. So this is this is by Sunex, and these are E-Torx. So it's a 9-piece, and we have an E4 all the way up to an E16. The only reason I'm torn about this is I went over to show my coworker, and he has a few of these. I don't think he had a whole rail. I can't recall. Anyways, this is his E10. This is the E10 in this set. Well, his E10 was smaller than this E4. So it was because it was snap-on. So that one socket probably cost as much as this whole rail. Actually, probably cost more than this whole rail. So I'm not sure how I feel about this. I haven't decided if I'm going to keep it or not yet. I definitely want to invest in something like this. I'm just not sure. You know, I mean, you could see how this is not very versatile in getting in somewhere. It's more versatile than if you were to put a, let's see. I'm at home. So let's say I was to, I don't have any E-Torx at home. But let's say I was to put, so what is an E10? Is what, a 10 millimeter? Something like that? So let's say I was to get a universal. Now this is just a regular universal socket, Craftsman, right? It's just at home. So we got this 3/8, and we're just going to take a regular 10 millimeter socket. Okay, Craftsman 10 millimeter. I think it's Craftsman. I don't know. It's so hard to read. Yeah, it's Craftsman. So we're just going to put those two together, and we're just going to compare the size. So in actuality, it is better than putting an E10 on a universal. So for that reason, I'll probably keep them just because of the convenience of them. But I don't know. Maybe I'll buy an E10 or something from Snap-on. I'm not real sure. Haven't decided yet. So, but I got this set, and this is from Sunex. Now, Sunex does not make anything else because I eventually would like to get a triple square set and a Torx set of universals. So that is what I would like to get. Now I have the video I did in the past on the carbine triple square sockets that are real small. If I put one of those on a universal, it's still pretty small. And I was working on that Audi, that Q7, that 3-liter supercharged. And now when I would put a 12-point, one of my short 12-point sockets, short triple square sockets on a universal, that one actually was a pretty decent size. So maybe that's the way to go. So anyways, got that, got this, I got that. Okay, and then, I don't know, I ordered a new Lisle. So I'm such a dummy. I had a Lisle stethoscope kit. And it's probably the best stethoscope I've ever had. It comes with a bunch of attachments, you know, one for listening, to touch it on there and listen, one where it's got the little cone. And I had it for a little while, and it was on my cart like an idiot, and just rolling around, one of the little rubber earpieces fell off, so it was pretty much useless. So I had to toss it, and I ordered a new one, and I got this in the mail. Stethoscope mag holder. So I got to look into this because it keeps saying that my tool was delivered, but I didn't get a stethoscope. So I'm not real sure what this is or if it was a misprint on Amazon. Not real sure. So anyways, I got to look into that. It's supposed to be a Lisle stethoscope. All right. So, and my very last tool that I got. All right. So I lucked out at my last shop. And so when we talk about torque wrenches, I have a lot of torque wrenches. I think I have I have 4 different torque wrenches. So I have a quarter drive that goes up to, like, I don't know, 200 and something inch-pounds. I have it's just a clicker. And then I have a 3/8 drive tech angle, okay? And then I have a clicker 1/2 inch that I've had since the first torque wrench I ever bought. That one goes up to, like, I don't know, 300 foot-pounds or something like that, but it's a clicker, so you have to zero it, right? So I think its lowest setting is 25 foot-pounds, so you've got to roll it all the way back to 25 foot-pounds, and then you go to torque wheels and you roll it all the way out to 80 or 100, 140, torque all the wheels. You got to roll it back to 25 every single time. It's a pain in the butt. And then I have the $600 1/2 inch Snap-on tech angle torque wrench, and that one's torquing big stuff, heads, diesel heads, things like that. And my last shop I was at, the shop had a Snap-on split beam torque wrench. So it was really nice. And it was on my box because I was the foreman. So, and to keep track of it, so I could just go over to my box, grab the torque wrench, flip it, put it to whatever, you know, torque I wanted, torque the wheels, throw it back in the box. You don't have to zero it or anything. And so started looking at torque wrenches, and I wasn't going to go spend that kind of money with Snap-on just for a torque wrench to torque wheels. You know what I mean? Especially when I already have torque wrenches, you know, galore. And so everybody in the shop, so I started researching it, and everybody in the shop has this one here, this Precision Instruments torque wrench. Okay, it's blue. I looked into it, and I know initially when my coworker first showed me, I thought, yeah, I don't know if I would buy like a cheap torque wrench. Not real sure. And so then I started looking into it, and I started doing research, and I found, because it was between this one and another brand, and I knew a lot of people that had this one, and it worked, and they said they had checked it on the truck. and on the truck, it torqued out within its proper range. So this is nice because you don't have to zero it. You just flip, you just flip the lever, roll the wheel, set it to wherever you want, flip the lever back, torque the wheel, stick it back in the box. So like I said, I think there's 3 other techs at the shop that have this, and it all works great. So what's cool about this, though, is made in the USA. So what's cool about this one here, though, is that Precision Instruments, okay, it's not a cheap torque wrench like I thought. I thought it was just a cheaper brand torque wrench. It is actually the same torque. It's actually the torque wrench. They make the split beam torque wrench for Snap-on. So Snap-on, from here down, is the same torque wrench. Different color, different branding, but it's the same wrench. All the torquing aspects are the same. The only difference is that Snap-on puts a different head on it. But it's a Precision Instruments torque wrench. So I just got that. So I'm really stoked about that, not to have to zero out that torque wrench every single time. And I guess I got to come up with a new spot for torque wrenches because, I already have quite a few. So, and then the last 2 things I want to talk about, I had a couple others, but they're at work. So I got a couple ratchets to try out from JTC also. So I got 3. One of them I put in my Instagram story on Friday. I think it was Friday or Thursday. I was torquing an expansion valve on a Honda, doing AC, and I needed a quarter drive stubby ratchet, and all my other ones, they were small, but they weren't very beefy, and so it kind of make it tough because you don't really have a lot of meat to it, and so when you're trying to put any sort of torque to it, there's no meat to hold on to. And I'll show a comparison of this at work to show what I'm talking about. So anyways, so they sent me 2 ratchets. So here we go. We got a 3/8 drive. Okay, this one's about, I don't know, 8 inches long. All right. So this one is a little bit less fine teeth. So I got that one and I got this one. Okay. So it's by JTC. All right. So compare the 2 in length. All right, one of them, this one is like a good 3 inches longer than this one. Now, this is all just solid metal. This one's actually going to give you a little bit of, a little bit less comfort because there's no grip on there. But I can kind of see how this is going to come in handy. But it's a little bit coarser teeth. So I don't know how that's going to work for me because I have ratchets that are the same size as this with finer teeth. So that's going to work better for me. But this one's got a lot finer teeth. All right, so we have the button to release. All right, obviously got the lever, lock and unlock, and it's got a flex head on it. It's not a locking flex head, so it's gonna be kind of nice. And I kind of like the way this feels. It kind of has like a different position. Like it kind of, as you start to turn it, it kind of locks in that position. And then the handle actually has a really nice handle to it. It's got a nice feel. It's not rubbery. It's like a rubbery plastic type of handle. And it's about the perfect size to hold on to there. Kind of like this size. I think I'm going to try this one out. I've been using my Matco one. I'm kind of tired of it. The joint here is just kind of messed up. It's not working right. We don't have a Matco truck, so I think I'm going to put that one away. Try this one out, and I'll let you know, give you some feedback on that. So anyways, JTC, that's the ratchet, that's the pry bars, that's what I'm trying out here. And I got this lovely tool haul from Amazon. Super stoked about all of these tools that I got. And yeah, so anyways, so I'll put a link in the description down below for all the tools that I got. And I'll also be sharing these things on Instagram, especially the new JTC tools, to let you know what I think about them. Maybe show you, and if they work out, I'll show you how they work out, what I like about them. And yeah, so thanks for checking out Nuts and Bolts with Tone. Thank you for watching my video. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the bell, and you get notified of all my future content, which you're definitely going to want to see. Also, check me out on Instagram at Nuts and Bolts with Tone for the daily life as a mechanic and little snippets here and there in the stories of the tools that I use. Good tools, tools that aren't so good, things that worked out, and I'll show you why you want some of these tools, and I'll show you the situations where they work out really well. So again, thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you next time.